Welcome back to the channel. I got my boy TNF, also well known as TNF, but his real name is Joel Winham. He's extremely knowledgeable. If you do not follow this guy, he is a surefire follow for you guys to learn more about how to train, how to eat. He's no BS, but he's a natural guy and probably one of the best natural physiques I have ever seen. He's probably gonna be like, no, don't say that, but he really is. Even seeing him in person today, it's insane. So we just did a leg workout. If you've not caught that video, make sure to go watch out. Today, we're gonna pick 2 exercises per muscle group and we're gonna just rip them off as fast as we can here and probably have a little disagreement, probably have some that are the same, but are you excited for this?
I'm very excited.
Let's start from the bottom up. We'll start from the legs. We'll go quads and hamstrings. I'm gonna leave calves off this list because I think
Nobody cares about calves.
Nobody cares about calves. But let's start with quads, and you get to pick 2 exercises. I think I'm gonna let you lead this one, and then we'll go back and forth.
All right, my 2 are gonna be leg extension and one that goes like fairly deep. I prefer going past 90 on that, and then also a hack squat.
Ooh, and hack squat was interesting because you said that your knees usually kind of like give you some issues on hack squat.
Yeah, they have in the past, and like most of the reason is because I did something stupid.
Got it.
Right? If we're being completely honest, that's the reason it was causing me issues in the first place. If I hadn't done that, it would have been fine, but it was fantastic until I messed that up.
I think there's also good hack squats and bad hack squats.
I agree.
So,
I agree.
But
That's it. Your equipment fixes that, though.
yeah, so if you guys have not seen the torque wedge, I'll probably be adding that at nauseum in this list as my torque products. But in all seriousness, funny enough, I have 100% agreement on this. I'm going to go a heel elevated hack squat. So I use my torque wedge. You guys can just use a regular wedge if you'd like. Some sort of heel elevation, what's going to do is take a lot of pressure off that knee joint. It's going to shift your knee forward. You're going to get more knee over toe action on that. Crazy amount of knee flexion. So you're just dropping that angle in and you can use less weight to drive more stimulus. Then quad extension, same thing. I use my torque pad to kind of shift my knee up and forward, knee over hip. It's going to shift that moment arm forward and just make the weight heavier. So for me, that's going to be S tier for me, both of those exercises. I think you probably grow an insane set of quads just with those 2 exercises, progressively overloading with terrific form.
I used that pad for the first time today for the leg extensions. Felt good.
Yeah,
It felt good.
You were skeptical too. You're like, I don't know about this.
Dude, I put the seatbelt on, I put that pad under, and it felt good.
It was quite the setup.
I liked it.
We had some eyes on us, but it's okay. Anything for the gains. All right, so I'm gonna lead us off with hamstrings. So hamstrings, I'm gonna go some sort of deficit hip hinge. So I prefer the freedom of a barbell RDL over a Smith, just because a Smith kind of puts you in this fixed track. I do like how you can kind of like lean back on it, but I do like the freedom of a barbell movement to really drag down the shins, almost put that bar on the top of your shoes. I do use my torque wedge and I put it the opposite. So instead of heel elevation, I have toe elevation.
Oh, okay.
And it puts you even more in hamstring. And one of the cues I was giving Joel today is just like super tight feet, and you don't want to flare the toes out, especially on like an RDL. You want everything in line so we can really just drive most of that emphasis into hamstrings and out of adductors and glutes. And then the second movement pattern, I'm gonna have a seated hamstring curl. I am kind of split between a seated and a lying. We did both today. The reason I say seated is just because you can load it really heavy. You got great leverage, especially never do a seated. I was to say this, never, I will actually stand on this. Don't ever lie back, because then you're just gonna get a lot of more lower back and glute involvement. Leverage forward, grab whatever you can to pull yourself forward, get a huge stretch, and then it gives you just the ability to drive underneath that hamstring curl. So those are my 2 hamstrings.
So my 2, sometimes I'll do lean back hamstring curl, sometimes I'll do lean forward. I don't have a set one. I'm sorry. But my other one is an SLDL. Maybe not quite as far of range of motion as you get, but I do like to have a standardized range where I'm getting a certain depth, because I see a lot of people will stop early and I'm like, okay, I will tell them straight up. I'll say, okay, if you take and you either stand on some plates, if you're using a Smith machine, because obviously it can't go down as far, or
not metal plates though.
Yeah, exactly. And then slide out and you're screwed. But I will always have something standardized that I touch to make sure that I get the same range of motion every single time on it. But I haven't tried a deficit one yet.
Ooh, we're gonna have to do those together at some point. But
Next workout.
Next workout. But yeah, no. And also, are you of the mindset of like flat back or kind of proud chest, or tucking pelvis and crunching core and just dragging out of it?
So I move a lot of weight on mine. It's pretty much impossible for me to have like the literal straight spine, because at some point, like your erectors are gonna get pretty decent amount of load on them.
I think this is something I've changed my mindset on so much over the last 2 to 3 years. I really always would teach, even with my in-person clients, of being here. But now literally I just tuck and then I'll just drag out. So I'll be here and then I just never get out of that position. I'll just drag.
Okay.
So then I don't really have to risk my lower back at all, because I'm not going from spinal flexion to extension. I'm just staying right in that pocket, dragging down the shins, and then right up to there. So I think that's
So
cute.
we definitely would have a similar level of back bend when we do that then. I prefer having it like flex naturally.
I think it's only unsafe insofar as when you go from this to this during the movement, that's where you're going to put a lot of pressure on that lower lumbar. Okay, well.
And it's a 2-for-1 too, because then your erectors, they get thick.
Uh-huh.
They get thick if you do it that way.
That's true. We love some thick erectors there. So let's move up to back. I think I'm gonna let you lead this one, and this is where we're probably gonna have maybe slightly different ones.
So are we talking lats or traps?
I think full back. If you only had 2 exercises to train your back.
2 exercises, you're killing me. All right, so I actually like supinated pull downs. Now, I'm not saying that that is my absolute number one, but every once in a while I get on a kick where I'm really enjoying something. And right now I am really enjoying supinated pull down for my lats.
Okay.
Obviously. So just 2 exercises for the whole back.
Full back.
You're killing me, man.
I gotta put pressure on you. You can't make this
I
easy.
mean, a chest supported row at that point then. Like a chest supported row, but because we've already hit the lats with the other one as best as possible, I would want my elbows a little bit more flared out for that chest supported row, but allowing myself to, because I see some people, they like stop here, like allowing myself to like fully protract.
To a turtle shell.
Yeah, turtle shell's the best way to go.
All right. Well, my first exercise is absolutely going to just mog you, crush yours for lats. We're going a unilateral cable from a high position. We're going to set that bench slightly back so we can pull sagittal plane right off of a high cable. And we're going to pull down elbow to hip pocket. So we're here, we have plant here, and we're going to pull.
Oh, I've seen you do this.
Right here. Best back exercise, best lat exercise. You get that benefit of pulling high to low, but you also are set back slightly. So instead of being cable above where you're probably going to pull the chest and actually get a lot of upper back, you get to pull here and almost pull down, first cue in here and then right in. It's like the most insane. And you get to split the body in half. And the way I set up is the bench is slightly offset to the left side. If I'm hitting right arm, I'll plant here and then it's just so much bracing and I can split my body in half and I could probably pull 1.2 to 1.3x of what I could if I was pulling dual, because you have more bracing, you split the body in half, you get better mind muscle connection.
There's a machine that I never have access to at my home gyms, but sometimes I will, and it takes that exact path and it's really nice and it comes through that nice arced motion. I love it.
All right, well, I'll have to show you that one, how to set up the
I
cable
would love to see it.
with the torque handle.
Bro has equipment for everything.
Literally. And then my second one would be that similar, some sort of either cable, or if you've got a really good machine, chest supported row where you can really like wrap around. And the big mistake I see people make on these is going from here to then lifting the chest and going like this. You want to just stay in that pocket, turtle shell, and then all we're doing is dragging those elbows back. And you see how much more angle I get at the elbow joint because I'm not then going here. So if I go from here to here, see how I didn't even get my elbow to almost 90 degree, and I'm hitting that now mechanism. So you just want to be here and then just drag that elbow out and back.
And it's also like a lot of people would agree when they do their bicep curls that they shouldn't be doing this when they do it.
Yes,
but then when they do their upper back rows, they're doing this the entire way.
And at the end of the day, like we really want to create as much of that elbow flexion as possible, that angle here. And if you go here, you look at this. So if I go here and then I lift up, I'm basically only getting not even a 90 degrees, whereas the difference is here and I get to there. Now I'm closing that joint to probably well past 90, and that's the gold standard for me to really get upper back, and that's going to target rear delts, rhomboids, low trap. With those 2 exercises, I think probably have a pretty terrific back with just those 2 exercises alone.
Yeah, I hit my back from a lot of different angles, but I always tell people, like, if you had to make do with 2 exercises, but you perfected those exercises, you could develop an amazing back.
I agree. All right, well, let's get into chest now. This is going to be a little bit of a controversial take here, but my 2 exercises are going to be a bench supported cable, like mid chest fly. We got the bench just about this angle or just below. We'll splice in the video. We're here, we're reaching back, elbows are forward, we're exposing that bicep, and then we're driving forward and through. You got the bracing, you got max, you can have unlimited range of motion. You can play around with getting back to here and then opening up here and then down and through.
I feel like that's cheating. Now you're taking multiple angles. You're
hitting
I'm one exercise.
I never play fair. So that's my number 1. Number 2 is going to be and it's not going to be incline. You're going to be surprised. It's going to be a mid chest, probably flat or even decline machine press that converges with something that extends range of motion. So I'd probably use my torque pad that it's attaches to
Every
any
time.
bench, has a round, basically a half roller that attaches to it. And what I want to be is here, tucking elbows, and I have the best leverage for my chest here as opposed to here. What I want to be is driving through and almost pretending like I'm falling back in the machine. And for me, my chest has always been a weak point, and just that cueing alone has really helped me. So I know you're going to be mind blown that I don't have an incline press in my chest, 2 S-tier chest movements, but I'd be interested to see what you have. I'm going to guess this is one of them.
It's all good. I mean, I would say right now for me, because it's in my programming, like that is the one that I'm currently favoring for the upper chest, right?
It's all over the internet, guys.
But I will say, if you have the proper machine for it that takes the right path, I still love just a solid, nice, converging, elbows tucked press.
So explain to them the press you meant.
So the press that I've been doing, I did not invent, stop saying that, is just a supinated incline press, right? It helps keep...
It's a TNF press.
Basically what happens is whenever I get to a heavy weight and I'm doing an incline press, because you have more tissue here, my elbows want to flare out in order to bring that. And this just keeps it so that I don't have to think about it. The less I have to think about whether I'm actually keeping my elbows in, the better for me. But this isn't going to make your chest something it's never been before. I'm not saying that, okay? But I am favoring that one as one of them.
I love that.
But my second is one that I never have access to. And there's this beautiful machine that is an elbow supported, it's actually an elbow pec deck fly, but I never have access to it except for at one gym, but I don't have it in my program because I want to be able to standardize my workouts.
Is it the one that is like almost has no handles and it's just here?
Yeah, it's just straight across. And like, as long as you can set up properly for it, it is beautiful. The problem is there's very few places that have it. So I end up doing usually something else for my arms across movement.
Yeah, I think that if you can stay in chest on that, where you have something supported here and you can come here. My thing is like, I've found that I actually can be way more in chest, dropping the elbow in and then being here.
You would probably be able to do that with the same machine too.
I would love to try it. I love it. I love it. I love a new machine.
Make a trip to Alpha Land. We'll make it happen.
We'll do it. We'll do it for sure. So we are now into, this guy should just mog me in this category, but arms. What are we doing for arms here?
Okay. Arms, man. You're making it tough on me. So this one will be controversial because my audience is weird about this. I actually prefer an overhead tricep extension to an underhead if I had to choose one. Now I know like a lot of you guys would be like weird about that because you saw one study here. But I prefer an overhead tricep extension. But the way that I do it is because like a lot of times I find I'm not like in a particularly good locked in position if I'm standing straight up, is if you take and you actually brace your butt on the pole behind you and you bring the cable system down. It looks a little sus. I'm not gonna lie.
We know I like,
but it is a very, very good setup. And because the weight's pulling straight back over top of you and pulling your butt back into the pole, you're just locked in the entire time.
Locked to the butt to pull.
Butt to pull, butt to pull. It works.
I like
I'm
that
sorry.
exercise. I'm gonna give it to you. I like that exercise.
And then probably for my biceps, it's one that I actually don't do as often just because sometimes I get lazy or like I forget about it. But I actually like if it's a really good machine that has the elbow down by the side and then I just scoot forward a little bit, but it has my elbow supported. I love that one when it's good. But it's very rare to find a machine that I actually find fits my overall leverage as well.
Yeah, I think those are terrific choices. I think for me, bench supported push down, I think you're going to be able to load it heavier. So you've got a probably 60-degree bench. You set it up. So
are you talking from over top where it's coming from here? That's a great one.
I think I can load it heavier than almost any exercise. I can keep my elbows pinned back. I don't have to worry about bracing or core. It's just
well, that's the thing. Like you have massive triceps. So that's such a huge factor, is just being able to not have to worry about holding yourself in place.
It's a huge benefit. I think even for like, I think it's so funny to me when people look at my exercise like, oh, that's just for advanced. Like you shouldn't be teaching beginners that. I'm like, no, like why would you not as a beginner be put in a position where like the skill is actually, you're taking a lot of the skill out of it because you're putting yourself in this perfect position to just say like, hey, pin elbows back and just extend. And you don't have to think about core or like body position, because actually a push down, you have to be a lot more technical of like, where is your body alignment? Where's your angle? Or is your elbow staying back? There's so much more that goes into making sure that's like you're working that like only tricep. You're not turning it into a lat pullover. You're not letting the elbows come up. So I always argue with people when they say like, oh, like you should only teach somebody that when they're an advanced. I'm like, no, like teach somebody like that's a beginner how to lift properly from the beginning. So that's number one for me. Number two is going to be for buys a bench supported cable curl. So what I do is I set the cables at about a foot off the floor. I'll take a bench like this. I'll scoot right into the pocket here. I'll keep the elbows back and then I'll just drag the hands out.
So is the resistance profile coming from behind or above?
Behind.
Okay.
So it's like only like a foot off the floor. So
Gotcha.
it's still low. And then I'm just back here, and then I'm just dragging out while keeping the elbows back.
So it's kind of like a slight Bayesian style
Correct.
curl. Okay.
But it's like completely isolated. I can still load it pretty heavy.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, it's like the best of all worlds, because when I scoop myself into that crook of the bench, I'm almost like slightly elevated on it. I can basically just like lock in. I don't have to worry about balance at all, because I put myself, pretty much my torso angle matches the angle of where the cable is coming from. And so I don't have any kind of movement there. And I pin the elbows back and I just drag the palms in, and it's crazy good.
I'll have to give that a go.
I'll have to teach it to you.
Yeah.
So, and let's finish out with, I'll lead delts. So I'm gonna argue that you're gonna get plenty of front delts in your pressing movement. So I'm gonna focus on lateral head and rear delt. So for my lateral head, I'm gonna do some sort of torque handle. So basically you can shorten it. You can use the handle in cohesion with the cuff, so you get the best of both worlds. And you know, so you see people grabbing onto just a blank handle while they use a cuff. You can literally have both contact in your wrist and in the handle when you use those.
That's nice.
And so with those, I would do like basically lying variant, where you have the cables about a foot above your hip height. You lie all the way back on a bench that's completely flat. And then we just are dragging directly out and then up and back slightly, and then right back down in that curve. And to me, that's probably my favorite. I've tried so many different lateral raise variants. That one's my favorite. And then for I would have a rear delt movement in there. So a crossbody cable fly here, neutral, palm, really reaching across, biasing against it, and then only coming out to about here. That's where the rear delt's gonna end. And it's just gonna go into trap after that. And then just really focusing on this range. So end range all the way across, almost punching myself in the face with my front delt, and then just keeping that slight like 170 degree, never changing that elbow angle out to about here.
Okay.
To me, with a cuff, S tier for sure.
All right, I'll have to give that one a go. The rear delt one that I typically do is just a straight up pec deck, but similar to you, I don't like to, because I see people all the time, they come back to here all the way, and if they can't come back to here anymore, they're like, oh, well, I'm done. I'm like, I mean, you were doing a trap movement there. So I'll typically do it with a little bit further range ahead, reach forward, and similar to you, like I'll have it out here, but because of the limitations of the machine, it can't go quite as far. It'd be nice if I had a machine that could go all the way through, but I like the stability from the machine, and that's pretty much the only reason that I use it over a cable. So like, I like the trade-off of having a little bit more stability and just being able to push hard, but I do actually like, because I've used cable variations similar to that, I do like that one as well.
You'd laugh at my setup because I put a rope on the opposite side. So I take my hand, so like if I'm doing right arm, I'll put the cable about a foot lower. I'll grab a rope with like the whole stack on it so I can't move, and then I grab here and then I reach across, so now I have that counterbalance, and so then I can torque across and not have to worry about any rotation in the shoulders.
I feel like we just have to do a video where you take me through all these funky setups. I need to see them all.
I feel like you'd actually like love all of them.
Dude, I enjoy, like, I can't stand the rigidity that people have where they won't try things that are new. Like, I will try anything you throw my way.
I love it.
I would love that. Oh, forgot about side delts. So there was a variation recently that actually a buddy of mine showed me where it was in a particular setup where basically what happens is, if you take a look, similar to how I was talking about how I brace my butt up against the pull for tricep, he'll do that actually where he braces up his side against the pull itself. It's very, very hard to describe, but it's basically a cable lateral raise done with you completely braced by the machine itself. So you're completely locked in place. You can't move at all. And then it's just straight out to the side.
So basically
side delt.
on that same cable side, you're basically locking into the, okay, got it. The tower. Got it.
And it was very nice. I haven't used it a ton, but when he showed me, I was like, this is better than any side delt exercise I've done before.
All right, there you go. Well, I would do your list. I think you'd probably do my list on any given training day. I think you can't go wrong. I think that the biggest takeaway from this video I would like you guys have is like execution over anything. I think you guys would do well to go watch our leg day video that we did together, because then you could see how much, like, we took normal exercises like a free squat, leg press, a quad extension, hamstring curl, seated hamstring curl, and really like made it our own to try to optimize the movement. So I think that if you're gonna take anything away from this video, more so than exercise selection, it's the intentionality and intensity you take into each and every set and how close you are getting to failure within that actual target muscle group. So how much stimulus you're driving to the target muscle while minimizing fatigue, CNS, injury risk, all those things. So,
And have a good training partner. That was one of the most fun leg days I've had in a long time.
that's so dope.
It was a
Actually
good
means so much,
workout.
dude.
I miss working out with guys like you, man.
Oh,
So much fun.
I love that. Thank you, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, now I feel like I just want to like go out there and like show you all these various
Let's go
It's
hit
like
an upper.
It's like 10 p.m.
Let's go hit an upper day.
All right, guys. Well, thank you for watching the video. Make sure you go follow Joel on all his socials, especially on Instagram. It's so entertaining. Are you getting into YouTube too, right?
Yeah.
So definitely go check him out on YouTube. Go check out Torque Gear, HCLT subs. Love you guys. Appreciate you guys. I'll see you on the next video.